Hey guys, we are going to get started with reviewing equations. We're going to start with two-step and multi-step. So hopefully this is a review. Obviously, we are going to do a lot of solving equations and using the properties of equality throughout the course. So this is a great review, chance to get caught back up. So the first statement here is an equation is a mathematical statement that shows that two expressions are equal. An equation. And the second one is a solution is any value that makes an equation true when substituted for the variable solution. Okay. I mentioned a minute ago the properties of equality. They state that you can perform the same operations on both sides of the equation without affecting the solution. So let's dive on in. I've got a multitude of examples here, only 6, but each are unique, and I pulled them specifically to help model the possible problems that you will see on Delta Math. So let's start with number 1, 17 plus 5x equals negative 23. This is just a two-step equation. You want to do like backwards order of operations. You want to work closer towards the variable. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of that 17. Right now it's being added in my equation. It's also positive, so I want to make sure to subtract 17 on both sides. Negative 23 minus 17 is going to give us negative 40. And then you want to get rid of the 5 coefficient on the x. Those are multiplying, so use division. Divide both sides by 5. Negative 40 divided by 5 is negative 8. Now we talked about solutions, so I could plug it back in and see if negative 8 works. I could use my calculator just to be quick, but 5 times negative 8 would be the negative 40. Plus 17 would give me negative 23. Sounds like it works. Let's look at number 2. Very similar setup. Things are kind of flipped onto the other side, so you might see it set up different ways, but we're still following the same process here on number 2. Next to my variable, I've got minus 32. I need to get rid of that by adding 32 to both sides. Negative 59 plus 32 is going to give us negative 27 equals, and just bringing down the negative 3x on the right side. Then to get x by itself, get rid of the multiplication with negative 3 by dividing both sides by negative 3. Negative 27 divided by negative 3 is positive 9. And again, I can plug in 9 and check and make sure that it works. Number 3, does it look weird? Does it look wild? There's a lot going on here. So let's dive in. My variable on the right side, so let's get rid of the 45. It is positive. So I want to subtract 45 from both sides. This can be a curveball for a lot of students. So it's a positive 45. I want it to become 0, so I need to subtract 45 from both sides. On the left side, 48 minus 45 gives me 3 equals, I still have a negative x over 6. So as I mentioned, there's a lot going on in this problem. All right, as I work closer to x, it's dividing with 6. So let's get rid of the division of 6 by multiplying both sides by 6. 6 times 3 is 18. I still have that negative. Still have a negative x. So you can identify that as a negative 1 and divide both sides by negative 1, which will give us 18, which will give us negative 18 equals x. A lot going on in that problem. That's a real tricky one to really see if you know your rules of equality and how to solve an equation. So I put that one on there for a reason. Okay, number 4, not so scary. Working closer to x, I've got minus 1. Add 1 to both sides. 8 plus 1 makes 9. Get rid of the division that's going on with x by using multiplication. So I want to multiply both sides by 7. 9 times 7 is 63. Number 5, we've got some distributive property here. So you're going to always take care of that first. 2 times 3x, 6x. 2 times the negative 8 is negative 16. Now this is kind of like your classic two-step equation. Add the 16 to both sides. 6x equals 32. 6x equals 24. And divide away the 6 on both sides. That leaves me with x equals 24 divided by 6 gives me 4. If I plug it in to check, I got 3 times 4 is 12, minus 8 gives me 4. Multiply that with 2 gives me 8. Checks. All right, last one, number 6. Again, you have that distributive property. So negative 4 times the 2x gives you negative 8x. Negative 4 times 5, negative 20. I'm going to drop down the rest of our equation because the next thing I have is on the left side, I do have some like terms. I've got my x's here that can combine. Negative 8x plus 5x is negative 3x. And then I also have the constants, negative 20 and a negative 1. Combine that for negative 21 equals negative 48, and finish your two-step equation. Add 21 to both sides. Negative 48 plus 21 gives us negative 27. Divide both sides by that negative 3, and x would equal 9. You can check your answers there. So there's 6 examples that are modeled specifically after your Delta Math practice on two-step equations. So check that out. You can rewind, you can replay this video as much as you need. If you have questions, let me know and I'll be glad to help you.